Hit the music.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City. And today we're going to be talking about Vince McMahon retiring from WWE. I mean, you're retiring from what? You own the company. And yes, there's a board, and all that stuff. But it was shocking to hear that Vince McMahon stepped down from his helm and gave the helms to his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan. Triple H was put into the head of talent relations. Now, everybody's all happy about this and whatnot, and everybody's like, yeah, now WWE is going to be better and all that. But Vince McMahon left a trail of disaster, if you think about it. The man decided that, remember, they still have this 10-year deal with the Saudis, and they got to go in Saudi Arabia to make these biggest events. They still have Bruce Pritchard as, I guess, he's going to be head of creative now. He's going to be the one creating these matches, where we all know that him and McMahon have been the one and the reason that why the WWE Raw has been so low throughout these years. But the funny part is, what I don't get is, all of a sudden, Vince McMahon decided to step down. Since the allegations, because let's say it's allegations, and report from Wall Street Journal that Vince McMahon paid a paralegal who worked with him back in 2019 and left this year, the beginning of the year, paid her hush money, almost $3 million in hush money. She got, I believe, $2 million or $1 million, and then the next 2 years she was going to get paid for this hush money because she had an affair with Mr. McMahon. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Mick McMahon is in the middle of something like this, because the man portrays that in the wrestling ring and wrestling business. Now, you may say, that's not true, blah, blah. Okay, let's go to the Attitude Era. Let's go to the ruthless aggression when him and who was the girl, any female wrestler was in the ring. He was always doing some scheming, sexual thing, and and he portrays somebody, even though it's a storyline, he probably was portraying his real true self. Then right after that, then there came the allegations of the female referee that they hired back in 1986 when they were called WWF. She was the first female referee that WWF hired. I remember the female referee because I used to see Wrestling Superstars on Saturday, and she refereed a couple of matches. She had made allegations years ago that Mr. McMahon told her to get into his limousine so they could talk about contract negotiations, and then Vince McMahon pretty much put the pressure on her and pretty much said, if you want the job, you have to give me oral sex. And she did what she had to do. Next thing you know, McMahon pretty much forced her to have sex with her in the limousine, and then after that, they let her go. She ended up talking about this a couple of years later, and then I guess that was put under the rug. All of a sudden now, we're in 2022, almost 36 years later, and here we are again with Vince McMahon being accused of paying someone for them not to say that they had an affair with him. Hush money. And this the board was investigating. This came from Wall Street Journal. Fine. McMahon decided that he wanted to show how big his grapefruits are, and 2 days later he shows up at SmackDown to plead with his minions, because this is what we have now in WWE, minions, because they fall for anything they see. They think it's wrestling. And he said, oh, now a present forever together, something to that effect, and then left. 45-second, a waste of time. In the opening of SmackDown, you see people bowing down to this man, like he's a god, and it goes to show you what society is all about this year. He's a sexual predator. That's the first thing I say when I talked about it on my podcast, and I say he was a sexual predator and whatnot. Because, I mean, to me, right away, I knew that this was not the first time, or better yet, the can of worms were going to be open. And I told this on Twitter. I said it on Twitter. I said it on Facebook. And people are like, no, he's going to get away with it. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't think so. Not this time. And if you notice, there's been a negative effect on this company since the pandemic. You got MLW suing them. They got stockbrokers suing them. You got law firms investigating them. It's like one thing and the other. And I remember seeing his lawyer. Oh, I don't know his name on the top of my head, but the guy's been with McMahon since day one. And he wants to retire. He's in his 70s. And then McMahon keeps getting these lawsuits. And he's like, I'm tired. And now he got the MLW lawsuit. Major League Wrestling is suing them for them getting involved, and they deal with Vice TV and whatnot. And these are the bad practices that McMahon has been doing for years. So we're talking about a man who has destroyed careers, has no remorse for anybody. This man let go of 100-something wrestlers in the pandemic in 2020. Okay, when the wrestling itself was closed down, this man decided let April 15 of 2020 let go 40, 50 wrestlers. Last year over 100. You think he gave a rat's ass? No, he didn't. So what happens? Allegations continue. Last week, they said that he spent over $12 million in other hush money situations, including female wrestlers, female managers, people that work with him, and all that. I mean, there's even right now, the last allegation I read this morning, Ashley, whatever her last name was, that committed suicide. They're saying that McMahon knew that she got assaulted by military guys when they went, I think, in Iraq or whatever it is. I don't know if it's true. It could be. But everything has been following this man for a while. So it's noticed that since June, everything's just falling. Blah, blah, blah. Like domino effect. And now he decides yesterday to step down for the man who has held this position since 1983. Okay, since 83. From 83 to now, that's almost 40 years. 39 years this man's been on top. And yesterday, on July 22nd of 2022, this man decided to step down as the CEO of WWE. Why he stepped down? I'm going to tell you why. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I believe there's more stuff coming out. And he knew that if he stood around and tried to play that I got the biggest grapefruits on earth, that this was going to only damage him. It was going to damage the brand. And I'm going to tell you this much. All these advertisers, all these companies that sponsors WWE, they were going to lose all of that. Because there's no way that you got like Fox is going to have to deal with a guy who right now, is now considered a sexual predator. You know what I'm saying? Head on top of the mountain. And he probably was feeling the pressure from his daughter, from people. They're like, okay, look, you don't have to step down because this is going to hurt the brand. And the brand's already damaged as it is because of the bullcrap that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard has been doing. I mean, they kicked out Triple H and the man caught a heart attack, whatever you want to call it. NXT is garbage right now, 2.0. Nobody cares to watch that. Now, the question that I have in my mind, okay, so now you got Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan as co-CEO. I don't see Nick Khan staying there too long. I think his plan for him to take over the whole company is done because now Triple H is back in the fold, and I believe that he was part of trying to get rid of Triple H, so therefore, so he could take over the company because that was the rumor going around. This man, like, first it was Triple H, then it was Shane McMahon, then Stephanie McMahon, and then all of a sudden, all these allegations came out of nowhere. to McMahon, Vince McMahon, and now McMahon is down. So pretty much he almost succeeded. But Stephanie McMahon took over as the interim CEO before McMahon stepped down yesterday. And now all of a sudden Triple H showed up, and now he's head of talent relations. McMahon left a trail of craziness behind him. Okay? Because even John Laurinaitis now, he's done with WWE. Okay? That guy should have never came back. But here's the problem I have. Now, everybody's celebrating because they say, oh, they're going to probably... And people need to stop with this bullshit, the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era is over. There is no fucking Attitude Era. Okay? They need to forget about that. Okay? Stop living off the past. Okay? You don't need the Attitude Era. Okay? The Attitude Era was not all that. And this is why we have these wrestling fans today who keep talking about the Attitude Era. Okay? Forget about the Attitude Era. Okay? There should be a different era. Now with all these things going on as of yesterday, and when I read, Brock Lesnar was pissed off that not Shane. Oh my God, Vince McMahon has stepped down, and he was like, "Well, if he's gone, I'm gone." Nah, everything chaotic now because next week is SummerSlam. It's Brock Lesnar's gonna show up. Brock Lesnar's ready to go. He doesn't want no part of WWE, and if he does show up, he's probably gonna let Roman Reigns beat him, and he's gone. He's gone. He ain't coming back. He's not coming back. He's going to go back to Vancouver where he belongs, and he's not coming back. And I don't want to hear, oh, he's going to come to AEW. He's not coming to AEW. He's not. Brock Lesnar's already in his 40s. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. Supposedly they said that they left the building. They brought him back. A bunch of shit going on behind the scenes. So this is what you get. Vince McMahon left a trail of destruction behind him. Because now you got all SummerSlam coming around. SummerSlam is not even that great. Okay. Now we're gonna see if with this new, if they're gonna have a new a format. Okay. Is it gonna change? Anything's gonna change? I don't know. Bruce Pritchard is still gonna be the head of creative. Supposedly, what I read today, he's going to be head of creative. And if Bruce Pritchard is head of creative, you're gonna get the same garbage that you've been seeing the last probably 6-7 months. Okay, they need to get rid of Bruce Pritchard. He is no good. You need to bring somebody like a Triple H or someone with knowledge of wrestling and knowledge of what's good and what's bad. Okay, remember NXT. If Triple H would have never been taken out of NXT, the way NXT was thriving back then, AEW would have a lot of competition. It would have had problems on Wednesday night. But no. McMahon, his jealousy, his yes men, all this, caused all this. So now, but again, we could go back to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, I believe, and I'm going to say this again, I believe Vince McMahon stepped down because he is feeling the heat. There's going to be more stuff pretty much going to be exposed. And not for nothing, but there's also law firms that are investigating him for his bad practices with the stocks. And if you start messing with that, the federal government, FBI getting involved, and that you're going to be making time. You're going to be making some time. So McMahon felt the heat, and he left with his tail between his legs, and he decided to retire. You know what I'm saying? He fought hard. Let me tell you that. And McMahon, even though toward the end he was just, he was just pretty much stubborn as hell and whatnot. But he gave us a lot of great things. I can't come in here and shit on him because in the beginning of his, the way he did things in the 80s and 90s, there were a lot of great matches. I don't know what happened when he started bringing in all these damn writers and the wrestling scene changed. Now he had all these writers from Hollywood that don't know shit about wrestling. And this is what we got today, But again, I'm not going to jump the bandwagon right away like a lot of people are doing right now. Oh my God, it's gonna be like the Attitude Era. Every time I hear that shit, it just fucking gets me mad because people want to live off the past. How about starting something new that people will get acquainted with and will get addicted to? Stop thinking about what happened in the 1980s and 90s or actually the ending of the 90s with the Attitude Era. Stop. We're not gonna have, they're talking about the TV 14. TV 14, nothing's gonna happen with the TV 14. First of all, Fox is not going to allow none of that cursing crap going on. Just because you see a TBS and TNT from time to time, doesn't matter. It's not going to be like that. So, and times has changed. Oh, you're going to do Shock TV? We're going to bring Vince Russo back? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. All I know is that this is a hope, a beacon of hope. McMahon stepping down from WWE, and maybe something changes. Maybe we don't have this, Roman Reigns trying to be this guy. Maybe the whole thing gonna change. We'll see. I'm not jumping in no wrestling promotion. Oh, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. I'm not watching anything until I hear something positive. I'm still gonna watch AEW. I'm still gonna watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that's it. Those are the two ones that I watch. MLW from time to time. Impact, from time to time. I'm not going to jump on it right away. But right now, there's a positive hope that things may change. Maybe WWE will be part of my weekly watch of wrestling. But right now, people could jump for joy. But remember this. Bruce Pritchard is still head of creative. Maybe they're giving him a rope long enough for him to hang himself, and they get rid of him. I could see it happening. I don't see why they will keep the Vince McMahon regime there, because Kevin Dunn, he may be gone. Kevin Dunn's been there forever. The guy doesn't even like wrestling, according to what my boy Jay Santee said. He's not a fan of wrestling, but he's a Vince ass kisser. So he'll probably leave out of there. Who knows? But this is a lot of information that that was dropped in front of me yesterday. I didn't have a chance to do a video. I found out all this late yesterday. So, it's crazy. It's crazy what happened. I mean, you would never thought that Vince McMahon would step down. I always said that Vince McMahon was going to die with this company. He was not going to give it to no one. But for him to do that, that means that he's feeling the heat and there's more stuff ready to be exposed. And for him to save the company, put it this way, he's risking his position to make sure that WWE thrives. And if that's the case, that's a smart move to do, because you don't want a company you built the last 30-something years and whatnot, or 40-something years, and now it's going to be tarnished because of what you did and what you've been doing for years. And like I said, this is not the first time that something with him with female wrestlers. He's done a lot of scheming things. You saw the Fabulous Moolah documentary at Dark Side of the Ring, what him and Moolah did to Wendy Richter. So McMahon has been what I call a scam artist, and he proved it. I mean, the whole thing with MLW, he called an executive at Vice TV to stop them from going into stop them from getting into Vice and have their products being shown on Vice. McMahon is also the reason why Dark Side of the Ring did not bring a fourth season. So there's a lot of scamming thing. McMahon was desperate, and I think also Nick Khan was not going to last too long. I could see Nick Khan being shown the door and whatnot. It could happen. I'm just going to sit back, wait, eat my popcorn, and see what happens from this. I will be doing I'll probably check the Raw this Monday, because I know Monday is the go home show, but I'm not watching in 3 hours. I'm going to go I'm going to go home to and look through YouTube and see the reviews, because pretty much, I'm not staying 3 hours watching that shit. No freaking way. I'm not wasting my life on that. So that is it for me today, guys. I want to thank you for checking in and checking this video. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback and your thoughts on this video. Do you think things are going to change in WWE now that Vince McMahon is no longer in charge? Will Bruce Pritchard get fired? Will Nick Khan be shown the door? Because I think Nick Khan is behind all this. I really think Nick Khan is really behind this, to try to take over the whole WWE, because there was rumors going around also that he and The Rock wanted to buy the WWE. So are they going to sell WWE to NBC? Now the NBC owns Peacock, and Peacock owns all the library from WWE. So a lot of things going on. What's going to happen with the Saudi Arabia trips? Are they still going to do that? It's a 10-year contract. A lot of wrestlers don't like to make that trip, and especially because Saudi Arabia and the government over there. A lot of things to ask. A lot of things to ask now that we halfway down the year. I definitely, I'm going to be talking to Jay Santee about this. We're going to do a mid-year review coming up. We're going to record that this week, and I'm going to put it for next weekend. We're going to be talking all this. I mean, it's crazy. It is very crazy how things happen. I was supposed to do a video with my boy Joe Bullrock today. Apparently, he had an emergency, so we weren't able to do the interview. But look, everything happens for a reason. And, you know, we're going to be talking about we've been talking about the Vince McMahon situation. So, guys, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to follow me, check out the Chokeslam Wrestling Report store at tcwr.veryimpressive.com. I am part of the Joners network. So that's one of the networks you can find me out there. Wrestling Joners Network. Also, guys, you can also find me on the audio podcast that I have every Sunday. You can follow that. You can find it in Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and any major audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to your favorite podcast show. So I'm everywhere, guys. Also, let me see what else if I'm missing anything. Well, I guess not. But again, if you want to subscribe to this channel, there's always a lot of content. If you miss any of my content from the past, I have a bunch of them. You can check it out. Give me your thoughts on those. So I'm always putting some content on my YouTube channel and whatnot. So shout out to my boy Chris Kage for showing up last week to my show. So yeah, I got a lot of big things happening for this channel. So hopefully I have more wrestlers interview and all that, because there's a project code name Summer, I believe it's Summer Heat or Summer Clash Heat, something like that, to that effect. I'm not messing that up. So Summer Clash, I think it is. So, you know, that's from Project Codename Wrestling. So those guys over there are doing some fabulous shows. They got a lot of stuff going on. August 6th is going to be a show in Roselle Park. I believe it's in, this is Roselle Park. I know it's in New Jersey. So we got to check that out on the Boys and Girls Club and whatnot. So that is it for me, guys. Until then, guys, again, check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. And again, thank you for checking me out. Until then, guys, be safe. Take care of yourself and be blessed.